It's a Terrain Control Industries video today. It's sort of an offshoot from the main company, Thurn Fabrication. TCI is a company where all our fun stuff, hobbies, dirt bikes, jet skis, bicycles, you name it. We use all the cool tools we have at Thurn Fabrication to make some stuff like this. So this video today is going to be about installing the more modernized ignition system on our old 70s technology, 70s concept jet skis. So, 440, 550 motors, all the same. We'll use this kit to install a Zeeltronic programmable CDI ignition system. It's true high voltage, uses the battery to amplify power, high voltage spark. You can use really good spark plugs, easy to replace parts. This little pickup is like 30 bucks. The entire coil, high voltage coil, I think is $60, $75, something like that. Easy to carry spares if you want and replace in the field because it's right here, not buried under the front timing cover. So anyways, to start, give you an overview of the kit, what it does, keep it basic, and then I'm going to go back and pull everything here and show you how it installs and how you time this, because when you screw this coupler on, the timing is all done on the coupler. There's no keyway. It threads on and every crank is different. It's going to thread on, it's going to stop when it stops. So the timing is not set. You have to set it. This is definitely not a beginner kit. You have to understand the concepts of how your engine's working, wiring, things like that. This is definitely not a, just buy it and install it if you've never worked on the skis or don't understand how they operate, or if you don't understand how ignition systems operate, have someone else do this or buy something else. It's just not, it's definitely a little complicated. You want to understand it. So that's what this video is going to be about. Even people that are savvy with this kind of stuff are going to need a minute to let your brain absorb it and understand the function, and then when you go to install it, it makes sense. It's easy. So quick, this first part is just going to be to get you to understand the system. Coupler threads on. We're going to torque it down. It's going to land where it lands, and what we're going to do is once the coupler lands where it lands, we're going to use this supplied bolt. It's going to come down. We're going to use that to find top dead center. When the piston's coming up, we are going to mark the coupler where top dead center is. And then we are going to set this orange, the timing pickup ring. This is the operation direction of the engine. Here's the pickup. This is telling the CDI where the engine's at, so it can calculate the spark curve that you can program in with a laptop. It's really cool, super modern stuff. When this comes up, you'll see there's a lobe here and there's one at 180 degrees opposite. Engine direction, this comes up. When this high part of the lobe comes around, the magnet senses it. It sends a signal, tells the CDI where the engine is in its rotation, and it times the spark. So it's usually going to spark. It's always going to spark before top dead center because there's a delay on the flame front. And this will time it. We're going to program that in, but we got to get this set right for all that to work. This orange ring has a bunch of different holes on the backside that we can clock this. So comes around, tells it to spark. Both cylinders spark at the same time, but only one is doing work because when one is at the top, the other is at the bottom. It's just a dead, wasted spark. And then it comes around. Let's say this one did the work. Boom, spark. This one's doing work, but they both fired. Wasted spark. And so-and-so goes around, does this thing. We will be selling the hard parts, not the electronics. We're going to give you the part numbers. Here's the programmable CDI. We'll be giving you all that, but supplied will be the shroud cover. Everything you see here, the coupler, the ring, the tool, the lock nut set screw for this to try to keep this in place, because if we don't get this tight enough under use, let's say you got a rock or a stick stuck in your propeller and or impeller, and the impeller jammed up, could tighten this on a bit tighter if this isn't locked down properly, and adjust your timing a few degrees, which generally wouldn't be catastrophic, but if you had a really built motor and everything was tuned perfect, you don't want that timing moving. Anyways, from there, I think that's about it. Being that all the ignition system is replaced from factory, if you had a bad stator, where the stator has three electrical parts that are substantial in running the ski. The charging coil, which charges the battery, which that's still intact, that stays in this system. So it's a charging system. You don't need to do total loss or anything like that. And the exciter and the pulsar, you can remove those if you want. So if you've got a bad stator and you need to buy a new one, there is no new ones. If you need to cobble together an old one, it's always risky, it's always weird. If your motor is modified and runs higher RPM, the factory old, because there's no new ones, ignition coils get hot, shut down, spark plug wires are old and corroded, can't replace those. The companies that used to refurb those are going away. So this is really cool. Ever since we've been prototyping this system, or running the system under prototype, sold it to a few customers that knew what they were doing. Jason from BJ's Performance has had one. He's been running it. It's been working great. Testing's been great. It's awesome. Strong spark. Just runs. Ski just runs. We have to do a few things. One key thing is I was running an aftermarket start-stop switch, and it had some weird, delicate electronics inside. And the kill switch wire on the CDI is very sensitive. So if it senses any little bit of a ground signal, it's going to shut the motor down. I actually got some water in my start-stop switch, and the water across the electrical terminals of the kill switch was enough to shut the motor down. So found out the hard way, had to swim back. Once I rectified that, packed the start-stop switch full start function and stop button, packed them full of dielectric grease. You could also use silicone grease, anything approved for electronics, not regular grease. You could use battery terminal, anti-corrosion goo stuff, just anything to get on the surface of the contacts. That'll make it so when water gets in your start-stop buttons, the water won't connect the metal surfaces and kill your motor. And I actually think Jason found that out too. He ran his system, got a little water in his switch, ski shut down, and I believe it was the same situation that packed it full of dielectric grease, never had a problem since. So just some new things we're having to deal with this new technology that's more sensitive. Other than that though, it's been rock solid. I'm going to get this all taken apart to show you how everything goes on and the process to tighten down this coupler with the supplied tool steel coupler tool. And we get this little wrench so that when you're putting the shroud on in the ski, you got to turn these little screws. So it's a little shorter wrench with a little better angles so that you can get in there between all the wiring and battery and stuff. That's about it for now. I'm going to come back zoomed in on everything here and show you how to put it together. Thanks.